Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Da Vinci and the Vitruvian Man. Okay? Now, I'm going to but I won't talk over you, so you need to be quiet. Okay. So, first thing is Da Vinci did a lot with proportions, but who was Da Vinci? First of all, Da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452. Now, who was born at the same time? Who lived in the same era? Columbus did. Columbus, in fact, Da Vinci was in Italy, Columbus was in Italy, they probably crossed paths. They were both very much involved in exploration and learning things and all that kind of stuff. Da Vinci, however, was known as the consummate Renaissance man. Now, what was the Renaissance? Yes.
It was right after medieval Egypt.
Okay.
And they had like a lot of art and
Wasn't that like
Torturing and stuff? What? Okay, if you listen to what Jared said, they wrote a lot of plays, there was a lot of art, it was right after the Dark Ages, a lot of things started coming out. Yes?
they created like new stuff that was helping.
They did what? Sorry?
They like created a lot of stuff that was helping.
Science was huge. The exploration, the learning things and exploring things and understanding new things. Shakespeare was very, very big at that time. Now, what was Da Vinci known for? He blended, hang on just a second, I'll get back to you and I will call on you, okay? He blended a lot of different kinds of studies and then he ended up dying in 1519. Somebody mentioned Shakespeare, and this was just before Shakespeare, but it was the same kind of era of just really going forward and understanding and getting a lot of knowledge. Now, what was Da Vinci known for? Nathan?
Mona Lisa?
The Mona Lisa. Okay? The Mona Lisa was probably one of his most famous works, and we talk about Mona Lisa smiles. There have been songs written about Mona Lisa. They talk about her, or maybe him. We don't know. We talk about a lot of different things with her and the way that he painted that particular painting. What other painting is he known for very, very much? Yeah, Austin?
The Last Supper.
That one right there?
Yeah.
Okay. And who has seen the Da Vinci Code?
Yes.
Well, I seen the
Okay. That right there. What is it that's going on in here? We have a lot of math that's going on here. We've got proportions. We've got golden triangles. We've got the angles here. Who's missing? Now, in the last slide, you also noticed something else. You noticed those lines that came down that were dissecting the face?
Yes.
How many of you have ever been to the orthodontist? Okay. Did they ever do this kind of a test to you like this? Like this? Why do you suppose they were doing that? Yeah. I mean, they have your mouth closed, but your teeth are lined up by checking it this way. What are they looking for? Yeah.
If you have an overbite or underbite.
Right. They want to see how your lips are coming out and see if your lips, your bottom lip is supposed to touch right there. If you have the average or you have the correct facial structure, and they're going to change that a little bit. But you'll notice that his picture, he was figuring out the measurements for the head. Now, have you ever seen an artist, when they're painting a picture, when they hold up their thumb? What are they
Good
doing?
picture.
Yes.
Aren't they like, my teacher told me that it was like a scale.
Okay.
Like a scale.
What's another word for scale?
They were measuring
Proportions. Okay, and we started doing proportions in August. That's what we were doing, is changing those proportions. Well, one of the things that Da Vinci did, now the Mona Lisa is extremely popular. The Last Supper is extremely well known. The most famous work of art that he ever did was the Vitruvian Man. And the Vitruvian Man today is used for huge, huge discoveries, and it's used in science, and it's used in anatomy. One of the things that Da Vinci did in his studies of the human body was advance medicine in that era. And you didn't know there was a doctor too. But if you'll notice, look right here, what do we notice as this guy has his arms stretched out into the square?
He's the same height as her.
If you stretch your hands out this way, you're also the same height as it is this way. And this is one of the things in proportion. Now his Vitruvian Man is the average perfect human being. Okay? So, I got to thinking, well, how come it's not called the Da Vincian Man? So we looked it up. Now, It's named after a guy named Marcus Vitruvius, because Marcus Vitruvius, born in just before Christ and died after Christ was born, he lived and started looking at some of these things. And this was in the Roman era. The Romans were big into conquering and stuff like that, but they were also very much into education and science. He was a military man in charge of the artillery units in his in the war effort. But he also became an architect, and he was studying, as he noticed that, wait a minute, if I'm going to be an architect, I need to know how tall to build an average door. I need to know how big or how high to put a window to make it useful. And so he started studying humans. So he figured out that if we look at the average body, he could make his architecture more fitting. And then he noticed what the average person did, that we all have certain features that are all pretty much the same. Well, this was, what he did is he developed canon. And that was the idea that, you know, your foot is the same length as it is from here to here. Your head is divided into 3 sections to be able to draw it properly. Your ears are a certain size compared to the rest of your face, and that's how we can do this. And this is called canon. And you'll notice, like with some of these drawings right here, it doesn't look quite right. It just doesn't look right because they weren't using the canon as described by Vitruvius. Now, what you're going to do today is you're going to take your group. So each group is going to choose one person in the group. And you're going to take your hand. You're not going to understand it if you're not watching the instructions. You're going to measure from the bottom of your palm to the top of your finger. Okay? So you're going to measure this length right here.
All around?
Nope, just from here to here. Okay? So you're going from there to there. And then you're going to write those results. Then you're going to take, and you can take your shoes off and measure from exactly on the floor, or you can keep them on, I don't care. But you're going to go from the floor, and you're going to measure up to just below the kneecap. And you're going to put these in a table. The table is going to look like this. This is where the palm measurement goes, and this is where the leg measurement goes. So for that one person in your group, you're going to write the comparison, and then you're going to put, it is an X and Y table. We've got the X's here, we've got the Y's here. After you get done with that, you are going to end up plotting those points. I'm going to give you a piece of graph overhead, and you're going to plot those points, and we're going to see how those results work for our entire class, and see if we have the Vitruvian Man in here. Yes?
Wait, so you mean, so we're going to do for every single person?
Nope, we're going to do one person in the group. But after you get done with your results, you're going to write your results right here. So after you get done with the measurement of the palm of the hand and the leg, come up and write the measurements here. And everybody will graph the results from every group. So when we get done, we ought to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about 10 or 11 different measurements, 10 or 11 different points that you're going to plot on that graph.